Thank you so much, Meena, and thank you so much to the organisers of this event. I'm very moved to be part of it. In the diaspora, it's difficult to imagine, to evoke, until we hear directly from those who are there and the family members that we lose that we can't grieve with. But I think that the writer has something to say at this moment, and I'm so glad to be part of the event with everybody here today. And I'm going to bring in another writer whose work I really admire, and her name's Karithka Naïr. And I'm going to read a little bit from her work with her permission. And the book I'm reading from is called Until the Lions. It's echoes from the Mahabharata, where she has taken those who don't have a voice in that epic so much and given them a voice. It's an incredibly moving work. Here is a book. 3 passages from that, and then a little bit from my own novel, We That Are Young. Constancy 5. What more is there to say? We breathe, we act, we live until we die. There will be more, there may always be more. More thought, more hope, more prayer, more pleas, more planets and comets, more orbits for moons, more oceans with mountains, more scree, more rage in the rivers, more livid fear, more waves, more trees, more law, more birds, more arms, their feet, more beckoning shores, and yet, more is not enough, never nearly enough to hold this day in the heart of a palm, to lull today to safety, to stillness, for time does not snag between our lips, for thought just weighs a syllable, for hope leaves no contrails, for prayers deliquesce, for pleas leave no ashes, for comets care little for you or me, for orbits have no desire, for moons are lighted shadows, for oceans cannot impale red stars, for no mountains could halt today, for rivers will not rise to snare the sun, for trees hurl no branches to tangle the moon, for birds will founder and arms and legs do tire, for no waves stifle divine decrees, for the law always lies, for the song must end, for this day, this one last day, before the battle must blaze white and die, with its colors like ours falling sideways, shredding dry seas with rain, staining indigo earth once again, for night flows like sand, for night catches like wildfire, for this night is a beast, 3 lungs, 2 throats, a belly with barbels, but no eyes nor tears and never skin, its throat spewing anthems of unreason, for this night tonight churns living metal, mineral souls, old blood, for the battle begins in the night of our fears, for all that is left, for all that is left to sight, to claim, to own as a distant shore of yesterday, all that is left to touch, to trace, to memorize, is the tattoo of my breath on your brow, for until we die, we live, we love, we kill, and there is little more to say. So the next piece I'm going to read from this book is Amaranth, and you can hear some of the invocations and the themes repeating, and I think it's important to reclaim these myths, these epics which shape fascism so deeply, and speak them again in new ways, down with cannons and icons of all kinds. For tonight, dearest heart, time has fled the battlefield, ashen, unable, the abyss stands unsealed. For tonight, Dharma ripped out its 3 gagging, screaming eyes, then slit its voice. Now sutra just means string. For tonight, prayers cower in shame and all gods flee. Like windows, words weep, shed sound, try not to be. For tonight, the sky, it prowls, a mute, livid monster, mouth gorging flesh and future, both impostors. For tonight, the earth is a vast, unending sigh. Grief stains air verdigris, rivers putrefy. For tonight, the moon moves as a gibbous smear of blood, dried blood, blood that bodes a conthic flash flood. For tonight, the sun drips black, deliquesces as dew. The stars, both sea and sky, turn granite anew. For tonight, they tell me, you are gone, dearest, gone and dead. Dead, they thunder, dead, so I'll understand. For tonight, you become silence and smoke, dearest, ground, bone, oil, sandalwood, ash. a king by fire crowned. The final piece from this book that I'm going to read is called Constancy 6. Before God, before the dead, before the children, before a world, dance. Before the sea drowns, before clouds conflagrate, before the phoenix drops, before thorns flower and right. Before you leave, before I lose, before it reaves, before they blaze, revel. Before you leave home, banished to a land named alone, before I lose my voice, voice that will roam spheres seeking yours, before a border reaves language from love, marrow and bone, before words blaze through veins in jagged tongues of fire, revel wild curses from a pledge, retrieve its letters, vowels, abjads and all, send them to safety from lip, to heart and lung. Before the sea drowns, gills clogged by a rain of blood, before clouds conflagrate, scorch the seasons, rain dark light, before the phoenix drops her song, sealing the casement to dawn, before thorns flower from coils and branches crowd airwaves, write it all, little stories, giant histories, and a few myths. Tie them to cotton seeds so they fall in distant hands, etch a copy on memory's palms, call it the human crease. Before God dies, smile trampled, 1,000 arms crushed underfoot. Before the dead return like moonlight, trailing white ash and regrets. Before children swap marbles for slugs and swallow darkness at meals. Before a world of straight lines and ironclad right owns your eyes, dance. Dance on vanishing shores between night and half-light. Return to nest like stacked spoons, lock chest with spine, twine hip and thigh, nipped 10 figures, pearl the lips once more, before the battle. So I'm just going to finish with a little extract from my novel, We That Are Young, which unfortunately takes us into the heart of fascism of India and links that with the history of partition and British intervention in India colonization through the prism of King Lear, which the book is based on, la la la. We're in the storm with Jeet, the character who is actually based a little bit on Modi, a little bit on Yogi Adityanath, and other holy men who think that they can dissemble. His name is Rudra. And he's having a dark vision. I cannot survive on nothing. No one can. However much he tries, he wants. He begins to sob. Bapuji rocks him gently. Shh, shh. Be a good boy, Jeet thinks to himself in the basti. Say nothing, chup chup. Let the rain come again. Let it wash all of life away. Rain falls in a light sheen over everything. It drips through the holes in Jeet's plastic roof. It washes his face as he tries to look up. He sees Bapuji so clearly, every line on his face, every pigment mark. The man he has worshipped all his life is really there, looking at him with pity. Jeet thinks he says Tattvam Asi, but he cannot be sure. Then the fever takes over. Jeet remembers little after that, until night comes, the second after the storm, and Bapuji is in some new sort of frenzy. He tears at his filthy kurta. His diamond studs fall off. Jeet scrabbles for them, but Bapuji kicks them into the sewer. He rents at his shawl and drops it in the mud. Legs tremble, arms ache, but Rudra raises himself up and falls on it. He wraps it between his legs and around his hips. Nanu wakes up from her corner, a bundle of torn chiffon and sodden papier-mâché skin, as if she is waiting to be formed. She tries to stop him, calling to Bapuji not to allow a madman to wear his clothes, not to turn the world ulta sida, upar niche, risk each becoming the other. He feels Nanu's hands grab at him and slap him. His limbs twist with fever. He retreats to a corner, stroking his new covering, nursing himself. We that believe in India shining, he whispers it into his shawl. We that believe we are better than all others. We that are the youngest, the fastest, the democracy, the economy, the future technology of the world, the global superpower coming soon to a cinema near you. We, Hampanch, that are the 5 cousins of the 5 great rivers, everybody our brother, sister, lover. We that are divine, the echo of the ancient heroes of the old times, we that fight, we that love, we that are hungry, so, so hungry, we that are young, we that are jigging on the brink of ruin, we that are washed in the filth of corruption, Jal, so what? Aise hota hai. We that are a force of all that is natural, slow, death to Muslims' gaze, chi-chi women in their skin tights high. We that sit picnicking on the edge of our crumbling civilization, we that party with shots and more shots, as the world burns beneath us, as the dogs bark, as the cockroaches crow, as the old eat their young and the young whip their elders, all wearing the birth masks of respect. We that present only the shadow of ourselves behind our painted smiles, we that protest for the right to drink whiskey sours served to our beds at noon, we that eat our beef with chopsticks, we that twist tongues to suit our dear selves, we that worship the ancient religion of Lakshmi, of Shiva, wealth creation and ultimate destruction, we that will be born strong in the next life and in a party that never ends, we that are the future of this planet, we that begin with this beloved India will endure, yes, it all belongs to us, and we will eat it all of it is ours, we that are India, and no longer slaves, we that are young. Who do you think you are, Nannu says, where? This is a world where pundits take bribes for blessings. Do not shiver. When thieves don't come to the market, when Gandus and Hijras get married in Krishna mandirs, then Hamara Apna India will shine, hey? Somewhere it rains every day, whether you feel it in your palace or not. Thank you.